Hey everyone, welcome to this latest session of HJ Goes Live. I'm Kieran from Hairdresser's Journal. You probably don't recognize me because I'm a new face, but someone you may recognize is who we're here with today, Rino Riccio, Head of Education for Manifesto. Rino, how are you?
Hello, Kieran. I'm very well, thank you. I'm very well.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's very good to be back, and work, especially after like the 3-4 month lockdown. So yeah, guys, welcome to the HJ Goes Live. My name is Rino, and I'm a Head of Education at Manifesto. So today we have a really special session for you, which is focused on men's hair. So Kieran, can I just explain, or you would like to introduce myself a bit, or?
Go ahead, mate. I'm sure you know more than me.
Brilliant, cool. So what I'm gonna show you today, and what I would really love to share with you today, it's the new Manifesto collection. This collection called A.D.V and will be launched in October. So this collection called A.D.V because it's like an advanced collection and will be like part of like our advanced courses. And we call A.D.V because it's advanced, of course, but also because we show 3 different ways how consider the hair. So which is A means artistic, D design, and V visual. So today I'm gonna show you the design part of this collection. So as you can see, I already sectioned the hair. We have 3 different panels, and I sectioned this panel using this DD hair mist, which is leave-in conditioner from Davines. The reason why I decided to create 3 different panels, because I would like to use 3 different techniques, classic techniques in one haircut, create kind of like a melting pot technique and make all these different techniques working together. So let me explain to you the first haircut technique that I'm gonna use. So on the back, I would like to building up the weight, create like a shape, and I'm gonna use like a graduation technique. The graduation technique, it's really good when you want like something very tidy on the neck and then slightly bit more heavy here. And I suggest to use this technique when the head shape of your client or your model, wherever, it's be like flat on this area, but also can be used when the hair, they're very, very fine and the clients that don't really like flat shape. So the key point to use this technique, it's the 45, it's like 45 degrees elevation. So with me today, there is Mikey. So he's gonna just like bring the camera and go close to the section that I'm gonna cut it today. So yeah, brilliant. So as you can see, I create like a diagonal back section. I already prepared the opposite side. So the first section gonna be, actually, I would like to do something slightly smaller for section, because also the head block is very different than the normal hair. So can you see it? There is like a massive corner here. Normally clients, they don't have this. So I'm gonna cut my first section, just connecting with the other side that I already done it. So before I say 45 degrees, but in this case, I'm cutting the first section very visually, but using like 0 degrees elevation, because this is gonna be my guideline. And then I'm gonna use this one. I'm just over direct a little bit, this one on the stellar shape. And now I would like to use the opposite side as a guideline. Mikey, sorry, give me just a little bit of space. Yeah, thank you very much. So I'm just elevating the hair 45 degrees angle, because when you use a 45 degrees, the result will be like a graduation. As I said before, the graduation is very tidy on the neck area. It's going to be slightly bit longer on the occipital bone. Let me go the hair down. Let me refine a little bit with my scissor in a visual way. let me check the balance with the opposite side. So this side is slightly bit longer. So don't worry if one side is slightly longer than the other one, because all of us, we have one side slightly bit longer than the other one. So when we find out that, we know which side is longer, we can just cut that side twice, easily.
Oh, okay.
So now I would like to show you the second section and how I'm gonna approach on that. So basically the second section, diagonal back again. Can you see it?
Yep.
Comb the hair down, put my clips on, and then I'm gonna use my second section as a guideline. So I'm hover direct the next slightly bit to the previous. Okay. Brilliant. Make sure when you're gonna use this technique, you're just gonna cut like maximum here, this part of the finger to here, not too more, just like small amount. Because when you have like, you do like small amount hair, you can just like tiny bit and then hover direct again, and then tiny bit and tiny bit. It's much easier to keep the haircut monitored and to be more precise. Okay, Mikey, I would love to show also, yeah, cool. Let's put this one back, and I would like to show you like my body position as well, which is really, really important. So Mikey is just like putting the camera back again. So in this case, I say, yeah, Mikey, thank you very much. Thank you very much. In this case, so my body position, it's parallel to the section. What that means? Basically, when I'm cutting this area, I just, my body and my tummy is completely like the front of this area. It's like parallel, you know?
Okay.
And when I go to the next area, I just move my body around. The reason why I'm suggesting to do that, because in this case, we was like a graduation, but we want like a round graduation. Because if I gonna like stay in one place and I'm gonna like try to cut the opposite side, or my body position will be not really work, or maybe I'm gonna create like a progression. So in this case, I would like this area very like round. As you can see, the neck area has been like a very, very like tidy. And now I'm on the area where the occipital bone is. So in this area, you have to be very, very careful, because, you know, when the head shape change, also you have to change slightly your technique. So in this case, what I suggest, if you have thin hair, just hover direct, everything down, right? Sorry, let me move this one. Everything down. So just to make sure that this is going to be like a very long. But if you have like a thick hair or maybe wavy hair, just still like keep the 45 elevation to here, because you can make this one like still like flat and not too heavy. It depends. It depends. In this case, have like an head block, so the hair, they're like not too thick, not too fine. So now I'm on this area, right? So I'll just over direct everything to here. The reason why I'm creating this like hover direction to the occipital bone, because I want to just create this kind of shape. Can you see this kind of weight, this kind of shape? So my body position, it's still the same. Yeah.
Yep.
And yeah.
So we've had a question from someone watching saying, who would this style suit, do you think?
Well, this look is really suits, it's quite versatile look, right? Thank you for the question also. Thank you very much. This is very like a cool question. Suit very like, it's very versatile hair look. So this haircut can suit city boys when like they want something like slightly bit tidy, but also if you look at the trend in the last few years, everyone that was having like a skin fade, And now sounds that's the people, they're like a bit tired about skin fade. So everyone, they looking for like something slightly more soft on the bottom. So in Manifesto, we are quite involved in fashion wigs, session work, and all this type of like stuff. So we think that this is gonna be the next trend. When all these like soft age, like how to grow hair, they're gonna go out.
Yeah,
this is gonna be the next trend. And this is this look, it's inspired by 90, you know,
yeah,
kind of
absolutely.
like yeah, if I can like, but that one gonna be like in a really modern twist. Okay, if you look a movie, like if you look like actor like a DiCaprio, but also Michael Pitt, you know, they have this kind of like hair very tidy on the neck area, on the side, and like quite long on top. This kind of like where the inspiration comes from. But the reason why I quite like this haircut, because it's like in a modern way.
Absolutely. So what sources did you sort of take this inspiration from? I mean, you say in the 90s, was there anything that you specifically saw that thought that could be taken into a more modern modern reinterpretation of it?
Okay, so I think what really inspired me, it was the lockdown.
Yeah, wow.
The lockdown. Some people, they've been like, oh, I'm not sure about lockdown. I find lockdown very inspired, because also, you know, I was home. I was always trying to think new things. But at the same time, I was very happy to be back in the shop and see that some people, they have like very funny weird haircut. Maybe they've been done. This has been done from wife, girlfriend, friend. But also, in Manifesto, the 80% of our clients, they come back with very long hair. Even people that was like having like very short haircut before this happened. So this is very inspiring us to create something, because most of the question from our client, it was, how do I keep the length? I would like to look tidy, but I would like to keep the length.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and we start to play on that. So, but also the reason why, there is another reason why we have this this look called design, which is the one the reason why I explained before, the A.D.V. Basically, A.D.V. is kind of like the future. Manifesto in the future, we will not see like a trend like in the last few years, everyone that was having the same haircut.
Yep.
Right? Side parting, very tidy. Now we think the future will be more like individuality, you know? Every people, they want to look different. That's why we create 3 different approach. And what we're gonna teach on this type of course is not just how cutting hair, you know? Because we think there is like a lot of academy, a lot of great brand, they teach that. What we wanna try to achieve on this course is like teaching people not just how cutting hair, but how consider hair. And this comes from our background. Basically, Mikey, me, and Corrado's background is kind of like hairdressing, barbers, but also we've been training on for like as a session stylist. We're still doing that, but before we was proper like into like session, we was like freelance, all of us, we was freelance doing session work. So we want to incorporate these 2 worlds together, men's hairdressing, barbering as well, with like session work. So
how difficult did you find it to combine these 2? Is it
basically I think some people, they think it's quite, they don't really match. I don't think so, because basically like creativity means think outside the box.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, if you think outside the box, definitely you can find a solution to match all of this together. And also, thank you for this question, because also I would like to, I already prepared the opposite side, but I left this area, the other side, the top of the opposite area, slightly bit longer, right? So I'm gonna show you 2 different approach. One can be more like hairdressing, maybe another can be more like a session. So it's nice to see the difference
Yeah.
between, and yeah, people, they can personalize that. So I'm done with the back. As you can see here, the graduation.
Yep.
Cool. Can you see it's very tidy?
Absolutely.
On the neck area, and then slightly bit longer here. And before I say, this really suits people with very flat head shape, because this creates a little bit of like body and volume. Cool. So now let me move on the side. So on the side, I would like to do something opposite that what I did from the back. So if on the back I was working on a graduation, on the side I will work on like square layers. So graduation before was building up the shape and weight. Layers is completely opposite. It's like remove the weight and make everything like flatter. So I think this is a really interesting technique, especially for people they do men's, because a lot of gents, they complain about the temporal and parietal area, the side, because gents, they don't really like when the hair springs up and they have like a lot of volume. They prefer like quite nice and flat. Sure. Most of them, they try to grow the hair and then after say, no, my hair, they don't really sit right. It's because they doesn't grow like terms of length, but they grow like in volume. So this like really great technique to use when the client, they ask you like to remove the volume, because sometimes when the client back in the days when I have not really much knowledge, right? When the clients say, oh, there is too much volume. So my first thing it was, okay, let me thinner out the hair. Let me remove like using thinning scissor or maybe point cutting. There is nothing wrong to use this technique, but there is also, you know, like if you use the right technique, sometimes you don't have to or make the hair thinner, you know? So what's I gonna do? Like I'm doing vertical like section, okay? I'm gonna take the last section that I did as a guideline, okay? So I'm gonna use the perimeter of that, and then I'm gonna go square.
So could you quickly tell us a little bit about the tools you're using and why they're ideal for this cut?
Well, the tools I'm using, on this case, doing like design, will be the Manifesto scissor we call A.D.V, which is attention to detail. We have another one, a little bit longer, but this is the one we use for like precise haircut. It's very, very like a good material. It's like a Japanese steel, as you can see, guys. And it's like 5.5, so it's really good to create this like very precise haircut. And also I'm using this comb because it's like the comb that I normally use when I would like to work on precise looks, which is I think called Beauty Pro. Yeah, View Pro. So it's the one I use when I would like to do like small section and precise haircut. Yeah. Oh, another tips that I would like to give to you is like I just say like a small section. Basically, when I'm working with like thick hair, I suggest to do like a small section, very thin section, and use this part of the comb where the hair they can be combed like nicely and tidy. When the hair is slightly fine, this part of the comb and the section can be slightly bigger. Sometime gents they have like really thick hair on this area, slightly be thinner on top. So in this case, I suggest to do like small section, thin section, using this part of the comb on this area and maybe change on top. So, but also Kieran, I say I'm using this scissor but also on top, I'm gonna use 2 more different tools.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because I would like to say thank you so much, Jay, to give me this opportunity. So I would like to give you something like a slightly bit more. I would like to show you also, before I say there is like creativity means think outside the box.
Yeah.
So I did this haircut a few times now, and I'm still like, changing sometime the way how I do it.
That's what makes it interesting, though, I guess. And that's I remember when we were talking a little bit before, you said coming back from lockdown, you almost felt like a kid starting over and doing it all again, and it was really exciting. And it seems
it was it was very, very it was a very, very exciting time for me, because I was feeling like when I was 15.
Yeah.
When like you are 15 years old and you wake up in the morning and you have like a lot of ideas in your mind. So I was doing like a meeting with Mike in Corrado and the rest of the team every day, and we was sharing our ideas. And actually, to be honest with you, I would really love to share this with you guys. It's where A.D.V comes from. A.D.V comes from the lockdown.
Yeah.
This idea, like just like born on during the lockdown. So as you can see, this area is completely different than the back area. We have a graduation here. We have layers on the side. They really match together, but we're building up the shape on the back and weight, and we completely remove this one. So now, before doing this area on top, I would like to dry the hair, because in Manifesto, we cut the hair in 2 steps, wet and dry.
Okay.
Because when we cut the hair wet, we using the technique, right? But also, sometimes when you cut the hair dry, when you cut the hair wet and then you dry, like you can see some area they are not like still precise. So we like to define that. You like to we call attention to detail. We have like different step when we do an haircut. We call our technique, our philosophy is like a cut technique style naturally. So cut technique is like, like internal shape, and then like attention to detail. And then we have the dry technique, the preparation, the finish. We have all like this step. And this is what we teach during our course, but also it's what we teach people enjoy Manifesto. So I'm so sorry, a bit like noisy, but anyway, the Dyson is not that noisy, but
I mean, so if you can still hear me, we have a question from online saying,
"Oh, brilliant!
What does men's hairdressing training and education look like now? Ever since the new normal, what does it? How has it changed?"
Okay, before our classes, there was like with 2 educators, 14 people, right? Now we have a class in the end of September, and we decide to have just like 5 people per class. Yeah. So this is what we're gonna be now to December. I don't know about January, but at the moment, education will be very like small classes and social distance and. Do
you think maybe that could sort of make it more intimate, make it a bit more hands-on, focused?
Well, to be honest with you, in Manifesto, we always believe that we don't want like a big class.
Yeah.
When I was saying like 14 people, we was like 2 educators.
Okay.
At the moment, like we're gonna keep like 2 educators for like 5 people, which is I think is a deal. Is a deal. Like I would like to think this like in a positive way. It's like very deal for like students, but it's fine. I'm quite happy to I don't want to say like be more focused with like just like less people, because sounds that I was not focused before, but I'm quite exciting to share this one to like a small small class.
Absolutely.
So why not?
We've got
Thank you for the question, by the way.
Yeah, we got another one from Tracy Jane Thomas. who says,
Hi Tracy, how are you? You good?
she says, I'm in the UK. Do you do online courses for advanced cutters? Best wishes, Tracy.
Tracy, we did something for divers during the lockdown. To be honest with you, we didn't plan this year, but maybe we're gonna be like on like a platform and doing this one like quite like regularly, maybe every month or twice a month. Yeah. Any question, Tracy, you can send like an email to Manifesto, or maybe like just send like a message to Manifesto LDN.
Perfect. Another question for you. This time from Julie Bellinger Gibb. She says, when you're working in the salon, how much time do you allow for a men's haircut?
Oh, brilliant. Basically, we take like 45 minutes for a haircut. In this 45 minutes, including like consultation, and in Manifesto, we are very, very fussy about that. You know, we have like some like question we teach like our member of staff the question to understand your client. Also, we cut the hair, we rinse the hair after, and we style the hair, and we teach people how they can take care about their hair when they go home, which product you use it. We suggest product. It's like 45 minutes. At the moment, to be honest with you, we taking like an hour, because, you know, after an haircut now we take 15 minutes more to like sanitize all chair and clean the station and all tools and and etc. So
how have you found that whole process?
To be honest with you, at the beginning was a bit like surreal, you know. Everything was like a very very new for us, but after like 2 months, you know, like it's fine.
Second nature.
Okay, so now I would love to create like a line. Okay, and there is too many ways to do like a line. Can be by comb, you know, some people they do like by comb at 0 elevation. Some people they do like with like fingers in that way, but also to create like a line can be by clipper.
So just thinking about, because we're doing the design cut now, and of course there's 3 others. What would you believe sort of combines the three looks?
What combined the 3 looks, as I said before, is what would like to teaching people, not something like a copy and paste, right? But we want to teach people the individuality. So we creating like every areas. There is like 2 different like a haircut, like artistic, they have 2 haircuts, and they are very like edgy, you know, for people very like, they want to be like very cool, different to the others. And then there is design, people, they want something slightly more like clean, something more design. And then there is some like more like visual, where we teach people how to use the razor and the other tools. What make all of them together in this collection is individuality. All of each look, they look like completely different. And this is what we think is gonna be the trend. So in this case, I don't have like a side bond, so I'm gonna just like shift this one a little bit. Let me go closer. Okay, sounds good. And now what I'm gonna do it's, so normally when we leave the top quite longer, right? If we use a graduation on the side, this comes like quite heavy. But I did like a square layers. So this looks like very nice and flat, as you can see. So this really sit with the side, and also it looks quite cool with the back. So let me dry this area as well. And also I would like to say, as a salon company based, we are really happy because the Manifesto is very successful, and our technique, they're like salon based, you know, you can use like every day with client. We use the same technique when we do shoot, but also we use the same technique when we work on client. They're really versatile technique. So we are really, really proud of that.
Was that something you really made sure when you were thinking of these ideas? Did you want to make it as versatile as possible and make sure everyone was able to do it?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. We always try, you know, like everyone, they can wear this type of the haircut, but also we always think, okay, I create this haircut and it looks cool down. What about if I'm gonna push this back?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know.
We also have a comment from Antonio Alio saying you're the best. So
Antonio?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Antonio. So now, what I'm gonna do it, basically, I'm gonna follow the line that I did before. I'm gonna do like a small section just to make sure to follow the line. How are you feeling, Kieran?
How am I feeling?
Yeah.
I think it looks amazing so far.
You say it was your first live, so
yeah. But I mean, you've been taking the reins quite well. It's
thank you very much.
Informative. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you very much. So when I do that, just make sure that the hair, they're like combing slightly bit back, because the head block have like a really perfect line, but normally men's they have like a triangular line. The hairline is not always like straight. So if you don't do that, maybe the hair will be very like short. So it's nice to push back.
Yep.
And then make sure that this one's like longer.
So you spoke a bit about how consultation is a big part of the time you spend in the salon. What type of consultation would follow this?
Basically, we ask clients what they like about the hair and what they don't like about the hair. You know, we not always ask like, what do you want for your hair today? You know, we just sometimes we ask like, because we think if people they choose Manifesto, it's for a reason.
Yep.
You know, if the people they come to Manifesto because they want something different. So we try to understand them first. We asking them like, as I say, what they like about the hair, what they don't like, how they style the hair, how often they wash the hair, you know. Also, we look how they dress, because also in Manifesto is very important, the suitability. But the suitability, back in the days when I was studying hairdresser, people they was telling me about the suitability, which is like bone structure and all of that, right? Suitability sometimes is not just like for us, it's not just like how your bone structure looks like, you know, because maybe you can do the best haircut that really suits your client face, but maybe it doesn't suit his lifestyle.
Yeah,
you know.
Absolutely.
So suitability for us is everything. So we look, okay, he's dressing this like type of like jeans or trousers. Okay, he's a city boy. Or okay, you know, we try when we cut people hair, you know, like you always ask client if they have like any plan on the weekend, you know, and you can understand which type of music they listen, you know, the lifestyle a bit.
Yeah.
So Manifesto suitability doesn't mean just like something that suits your face. or something suit your body, but something suit you like everything, your lifestyle as well.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. Also because I don't know if you looked Manifesto Instagram. So Manifesto, when we shoot campaign, we don't really use professional model.
Okay.
We use like our client most of the time. Some of them, they're like part of the band. Some of them, they're like involved in a fashion, you know. And also, we think there is like two type of beauty. There is like a beautiful beauty. You know, when you look models, there is a beautiful beauty when like the model look like just like gorgeous, stunning. And you can do whatever you want, you know. It's like a paint, like a white paint. You can draw whatever you want because it's a white paint. But we quite like when our model is quite quirky, you know, like more like you know, like something that doesn't really is more like cool than beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, we shoot people in back in the days with like big hair, and we did a really short fringe because it was looking just cool. You know what I mean? Like, we've been inspired back in the day. If I can suggest you something to people that are watching this live, I suggest to watch to have a look. This German agency. We did like a few haircuts for them, for this agency called Tomorrow is Another Day.
Okay.
Basically, all these models, they're like, I don't want to say like ugly looking, but they're more cool than handsome, you know? And they are the one they're doing like campaign for Gucci and all these Balenciaga, all these type of brand, you know?
And it sounds like that's really important in terms of pushing the whole idea of versatility as well.
Yes, exactly,
you know,
exactly.
for everyone. Yeah. Just got another question. How are you enticing your male clients to come into the salon more regularly?
More regularly, we have like our client they normally comes like every 6 weeks normally, you know. But if I can suggest something, is someone they're looking for like the clients come like regularly, maybe you can introduce some voucher for the people they rebook already for the next time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like a 10% off or something like that. Or maybe you can improve your client to bring more people with them next time, like recommend a friend or something like
that. Okay. Yeah. Makes sense. I know you are a big believer that this A.D.V is going to be sort of a vision of the future. Is there any other trends that you could predict will become popular moving into the autumn winter 2020?
Well, at the moment it's very on trend. It's very on trend, kind of like a mullet mod, by like in a like a new way.
Yep.
Not very like, you know, not like a Australian mullet back in the days, just like do short on top and leave longer back. This is the trend at the moment, and I think the 90 look definitely will be back. We already doing some of that, to be honest.
Yeah.
And also a lot of people who are involved in fashion, right? They're asking for like one length look, kind of like a Kurt Cobain look.
Yeah.
And if you look the last Celine show, it's kind of that vibe.
Yeah. Cool. So could you just talk us through a little bit what you're doing at the moment?
Yeah, basically I'm just like make the shape slightly be like undone.
Okay.
We want to make this one like less fake, more like real as like a client. As you can see the graphic area. Yeah, it's quite nice and defined, but also if you look, it's quite flat. It's not, and also is very, very versatile. Let me show you. This can be like I don't know, city boy, also on the weekend he loves party or something like that. Can you see it's more like tidy?
Yeah.
This looks like a very graphic because we don't have a side bond on head block, unfortunately. But can you see the shape? Can be very classic, but also can be very like, you know, graphic in the same time.
So would you recommend any products for
basically on this type of look, on this like of site, they can have like I don't know, like something slightly more like a clay if they want to push the hair back. But also what I suggest for this type of look, when they push this down, because they looks nice when they looks natural, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, I suggest to use more like a styling product than finishing product. And to be honest with you, what I use sometimes to my client is like a leave-in conditioner. And I just leave dry the hair naturally, because when I ask the client, how do you dry your hair at home? Most of them, they say, I don't dry my hair. I don't have an hair dryer, you know? And this is like, I'm not kind of person say, oh no, you have to dry your hair. You have to blow dry your hair. You have not, no. So, oh, that's very interesting. Let me find a way how can like create something for this person, you know? So I did this site, very graphic. And this site, I would like to do something like slightly bit different. Yep. And this is the first time I'm using this technique on this type of haircut. It's just for HJ Goes Live.
It's an exclusive.
And also what really inspired me to use this technique today, to be honest with you, it's your natural texture, Kieran. Yeah. Your hair is slightly be like wavy on the bottom, right?
Yeah.
So in this case, I'm gonna use the razor. I create the same shape on the bottom, as you can see. And now I'm gonna just like use the razor in that way. Take one piece of the hair, look in the line, and just cut with the razor. You know, the difference of the clipper and the razor make the hair slightly be more like soft and undone, not really defined. So I suggest this technique definitely for like thick hair, or maybe super straight hair when the client didn't want to look like too perfect. But in the same time, you can see there is like structure.
Yeah.
Sometimes I use the razor just to, you know, and sometimes I just like remove the length.
Which do you prefer? Which do you enjoy more doing?
Do you mean like a clipper or razor?
Yeah.
I prefer to do, if I do this haircut more than twice with clipper, I prefer use the razor. If I do this haircut few times with like a razor, I prefer to use the clipper, you know, because I would like always like change, you know, like it's the way, it's just like sometimes it's good to see the from like another like prospection, you know what I mean, in another like way.
Yeah, definitely.
It's nice to do something that if you do something like very in the same way all the time and you're really good on that, just change it, try like new things, you know, because you already know that way, so why don't try like new things?
And you have to recommend that to clients to just see what it's like, see what's have a go.
Oh yeah, well, I sometimes I've been inspired from the client hair texture, you know. This is just to remove a little bit of weight up. And in this case, on this side, maybe I'm gonna use like a different like approach in terms of products. You know, I'm gonna use a little bit of scissor spray.
Okay.
To make this one slightly more like wavy, you know. So you're gonna look like slightly more like you at the moment.
I feel honored.
And then I'm gonna use the diffuser.
Yeah.
Just to show like a different way how the same haircut, if you change just tiny bit the tool, how can be like style, you know. So if I want something slightly more like texture and wavy, I use something to make the hair slightly like a dry, you know. If I want to use something slightly more like sleek and healthy, I just use something to make the hair like slightly more moisturized, you know. As I said at the beginning, on this course, we don't just teach how we cutting hair, but how consider the hair. Any more questions?
No more questions from from me, but let's see.
Also, if I can suggest you something, sometimes I don't really like to use the product straight away into the hair,
Okay.
because maybe it can make the hair too wet and not really natural. I just like spray it to my comb, and I just like comb it, especially when the comb is like that harsh, so it makes like the hair slightly more like natural. Cool. One size a little bit more graphic and design, one size a little bit like more natural, but also don't forget, this is like a versatile haircut and really work in the salon as well. If you push back, also if you change the parting and everything, definitely like can be styled in different ways. So, Kiran, I would like to say thank you so much
No,
for
thank you.
having us.
Thank you. I mean, we have one more question if you have the time.
Yes, of course.
So this is from Sean Cinnamon Johnston, who said, "What is the difference in a man's or lady's haircut?" I'm assuming with this one.
Okay, the difference on the men's and ladies' haircut is the head shape and the proportion. Okay. Before I was saying, most of the gents, they don't really like the volume on the sides, right? Some girls, they quite love the volume on the side. So it's like the proportion. But the technique, graduation is building up the shape. Layers is to remove the weight out, create a line, just creates like a shape. You just try to understand the taste and the proportion, make quite something like feminine and something like masculine.
Yeah, perfect. So before we go, could you just quickly give us a very brief summary of what you did?
Yes, brilliant.
The key points.
Brilliant. So basically, I work on like a graduation on the back. I used like a diagonal back section, and I was working like around, and the elevation was 45 degrees because I was thinking to create something very tiny on the back, so it'll be more like strong in weight and shape here on the crown area. And then I work on the sides in a completely opposite way. I create square layers just to create something so it'll be very flat. It really works this technique on men's, as I said before. And then I just comb the hair all down. And then I create my line by clipper. And this side, I create the line by razor. The product I used was a sea salt spray from A.D.V on this side, just to show you like a different way how to style the hair. When the hair, they may be like slightly bit wavy. On this side, I just use a little bit of like DD leave-in conditioner, just like on my comb, and then comb everything down. And this is the haircut that in Manifesto we call design, which is slightly more like define.
Well, they both look absolutely amazing. Rino,
thank you very much.
It's been an absolute honor to have you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And thank you all of you for watching.
Yeah.
I hope to see you again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rino. See you later.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.